I'm Jessie Egan, here to welcome you to the Redwood building. We'll do a walkthrough of the building in a second, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about the process first. So this is the second new building that we have on campus. It is the second of 3 potential buildings that we've got. The first building was our Sequoia building, and that building went up in a couple years ago. And what we have done so far is actually really mirror the Redwood building off of the Sequoia building. It's an incredibly similar footprint, and we used the same team of people to kind of build that. So along those lines, I wanted to give a huge shout out to the team of people that we've been working with. Those are Fortis Construction, and kind of specifically I want to make sure that I recognize Mike and Gary and Aurora and Rodney, who were integral in this process, and then also TVA Architects, specifically Dimitri and Tim, who have been really involved in all this project. They were also the team of people that worked on our Sequoia building, and so it actually was fairly seamless for us to do this second building. The floor plan, everything was really designed around that first building, the Sequoia building. It's a tiny bit smaller because what we realized is that the Sequoia building was designed for 16 clients, and when we get kids in there, what we find is that actually 12 is a much more manageable number. That extra 4 doesn't sound like a lot, but what we find is that kids kind of bounce off each other a little bit, and so it's really not helpful to have 16 kids. So this building is actually designed for 12 with a little bit of flex in case we need to bring in kind of somebody in a crisis. All right, so this is kind of the main entrance for the building. Come on inside. All right, so the very first thing that we should probably point out is that the building is a secure building. The very first thing that you'll see is that we've got a double door here, so that means that there has to be a staff who will open both doors. So if for some reason there's a kid who manages to make their way into this space, they actually can't make it all the way outside the building on their own. They need a staff to help them out, just as an extra security feature. So the first room that we'll actually walk into will actually be the classroom. It's right here on the front of the building. So the classroom here is the very first in the front of the building here. And what I wanted to show you is that it's got space for all 12 of the clients who are here living in the building. We do have clients who are here sometimes placed with us through the Oregon Youth Authority, so they actually can't leave the secure area. So we have to have a school space for them here within the building. So we've got teachers who work with us through the LBL ESD, and we want to make sure that we've got space that can be, a good kind of nice area, big windows, natural light, so it's a nice educational space. So as you can see, we do still have a couple of pieces that are under construction. We've got some wires. There's electricians actually in the building right now. Furniture is not where it's going to be and when it's all said and done. But this hall is kind of the front space to the unit. There is a conference space here where we can have meetings, treatment planning, that kind of thing. It happens right here in the house, so all of that is available. And then we've got breakout spaces and then therapist offices right here in the hall. So if, given again that some of the clients that we have living in the space actually can't leave the secure area, all of their services happen right here in this space, but they do have a little bit of breakout where they get to go. It's not all, kind of cramped and in the same spot together. So this is one of our kind of treatment rooms, breakout spaces. You'll see that we've got a big sink in here for art projects or even cooking if we wanted to do something like that in here. We also have a big TV in here, so if we wanted to do any kind of, watching a movie or showing videos or anything along those lines, all of that can happen in here. So it really ends up being a pretty multi-purpose space. And also, while I'm standing next to this giant window, I wanted to point out one of the things that we really did try to make sure that we were thinking about as we were designing the space, which is that there is nature out every window, everywhere that you can see there is a tree or flowers or some kind of nature somewhere, so to really kind of bring in that natural element as well. So we have two therapists who work here in the Redwood building. They each will then have a caseload of 6 clients, and they can see therapists, they can see their clients here in their offices. So this is, obviously still under construction a little bit, but one of the therapist offices, we've got a sit-to-stand desk for both of them. We've got some storage space, kind of comfy seating and places for the kids to be. And obviously it will all get a lot more personalized when the therapists move in, but just wanted to make sure that you got to see sort of, kind of where that part of the work happens. So as we walk into the main client living area, or what often gets termed a milieu, which is a French term for living space, I can kind of point out a couple of things that we try to really highlight in this area. One is we tried to build in some really kind of secure features. So we've got this really durable kind of material on the walls that actually also is kind of a nice wood color. So we tried to leave that there to have some natural elements. And then other places we actually do have natural wood in the space. In addition to pops of color, kind of brightness, we wanted to have it be both secure and then also calming and feel just like a nice place to be. Again, furniture is not where it will go, but this is kind of the space that is the kind of an all-purpose space for the kids. Anybody who's living here would, eat their meals in this room. They kind of hang out here. It can be a place to watch TV or videos. It really is kind of an all-purpose, group therapy happens here. Pretty much all the things that need to happen in a client's therapeutic day, a lot of that happens here. We've got sound dampening on the ceiling tiles, and because we do have these incredibly durable concrete floors, they will be shined up and kind of look a little nicer before we have clients move in here, but they are incredibly durable, easy to clean, all of those things. But also we tried to think about what it was going to be like to be someone living in this space. So there is ambient heat underneath the flooring so that it's not cold on kids' feet if they're walking through. But because we do have this hard floor, we wanted to make sure that if there's several people in this area that they, that they've got voices, they're talking, they're yelling, that it doesn't get too loud and doesn't feel uncomfortable to be here. So we've got the sound dampening, and then also skylights in the light, because we want to make sure that we've got, all the ceilings have natural light. We want to make sure that there's always that kind of natural element built in as well.
I'm Elizabeth McMahon, and I am going to transition us into the client living bedroom space. One thing you'll know about Redwood, which is something we did in Sequoia, is that the building kind of has a center area and then it's a direct reflection on each side. So we'll show you one side of the bedroom pod. We will explore the rest of the building, and you'll see the other bedroom pod as well. So we'll start on this side. So as Jesse mentioned, it's a 12-bed program. There are 2 bedroom pods, so each pod sleeps 6 youth. And you'll see you have 3 bedrooms on that side, 3 bedrooms on this side, and this sort of beautiful wall of cabinets and storage space that runs down the middle, which serves a lot of purposes of making sure our facility and our clients have plenty of places to put their stuff, as well as it reduces line of sight of kids between bedrooms, which will help with bedtime transitions and all of that sort of stuff. Some of the features we wanted to show you in the bedroom. All of the bedrooms are designed the same, so there are storage cabinets, storage shelves that kids can put their things on in here. There's beds. There will be a desk underneath the window and the stool. These windows are awesome. They're detention grade windows, so kind of looking at security and this level of care, and again, sort of the OYA population that we serve, that have built-in blinds that our staff can open and adjust the blinds for the youth if they want more light in or less light in. The other things to sort of look at is we have these speakers that are built into every bedroom, so youth can take private phone calls, a guardian or family member, anyone really can call our youth, and we can transfer the phone call into their bedroom, and so they don't have to have a staff standing right next to them when they're trying to talk to their siblings about how their day was, that sort of stuff. And also we have these night lights built into every bedroom, and the night light sort of serves multi-purpose. One, it makes the room feel a little bit warmer. Two, when we do bed checks to make sure our kids are well and healthy in their rooms, and so like safety regards, like it makes it a lot easier for our staff to see the kids without having to like shine flashlights in their faces every 15 minutes. An additional space that we do have in the building that's not directly related to client spaces is our staff office and our staff workroom. And so this is the space. We have 4 computers for staff workstations. We have a meeting room directly off of it, and this small kitchenette, and the staff bathroom. The other fun things that we have back here, which is definitely a lessons learned from Sequoia, is we have all of our lighting panels back here. We have our motion alarm, door alarm panels back here, and so we can control all the light within the program from the staff area. So one of the features that we do have is we have access to this awesome basketball court backyard area, as we will call it, and the 2 covered patios, which makes it really nice in the 9 months of the year in Oregon where it is raining or feels like it's going to rain. Our kids can still be outside and getting fresh air and sort of that natural feeling while being covered and protected from the rain. In addition, some things to notice here is we do have these 14-foot tall fences, and again, the balance is kind of always safety and security with making sure our environment looks as healing and therapeutic as possible. So we have the access to these really tall fences, and at the same time, our kids can get to see this kind of pretty gorgeous landscape behind us, and you can still see the horse program from our backyard, and which makes being out here really nice, and plus being able to shoot hoops really kind of whenever you want is pretty nice too.
Thank you so much for coming on the tour with us. We're pretty excited about the new Redwood building and moving kids over into this kind of nice new shiny space. So if you have any interest in an in-person tour at any point, you can always reach out to us. We do a decent amount of walking folks through our buildings, and so we're happy to do that in person if you like.